All right, we fucking made it. It's Friday. It is opening season. Kansas City Chiefs are taking on the lowly Chargers in Brazil. I can't wait to watch this game, and I will give you my thoughts on Monday. Anyway, let's dive. Let's obviously, guys. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for jumping on. Appreciate each and every one of you. I am 100% in the bag for the NFL season, and I hope you guys are too. If you're an NFL fan, let me know what your football team is. Let me know exactly where you stand, and I'm going to incorporate a little bit more sports as the football season draws on, because it's football season. I'm a big fan, and I also like the NBA as well, so I might talk a little bit about that too as we go forward. Let's dive into some shit here for this Friday, and we're going to close this out talking about a couple of things. I'm going to read you some quotes from an actor, Dwayne Johnson. And these quotes piss me the fuck off because this is a guy. Let me read you the quotes, and then I'll talk a little bit about this. So his movie Smashing Machine has come out in the film circuit, and it's got a release date at some point in the theaters. But this is what he says about this movie. I have, quote, end quote, all that. All right. This is from comicbookmovie.com, referencing a Variety article. I have for a long time wanted this. The three of us have talked for a very long time about when you're in Hollywood, as we all know, it had become about box office. And you chase the box office, and the box office can be very loud, and it can become very resounding, and it can push you into a category and a corner. This is your lane, and this is what you do, and this is what Hollywood wants you to do. I just had this burning desire and voice that was saying, what if there is more? And what if I can? Sometimes it's hard for us to know what we're capable of when we've been pigeonholed into something. It's harder to know what you're capable of, and sometimes it takes people that you know and love, like basically the cast, Emily, Benny, and so on. And then he closes it out by saying this. I looked around a few years ago, and I started to think, what am I doing? Am I living my dream, or am I living other people's dreams? You come to that recognition, and I think you can either fall in line or go, I want to live my dreams now and do what I want to do. I've been scared to go deep and intense and raw until now, until I have this opportunity. Okay, Dwayne. Okay. Dwayne Johnson was a movie whore his entire career. His ass was doing yes sir, no sir, and doing whatever the fuck it is to make a buck, no matter how bad his acting was, no matter how bad the film was, the script, the people, everything about Dwayne was manufactured. Everything about him is prepped, already put together. So now that he is about to pivot his career, he's decided to stop taking steroids, apparently, by recent photos. He's lost a lot of muscle mass, so it looks like he's slimming down because he doesn't want to be this hulking figure anymore. He has been nothing but a whore in the film industry, doing whatever people wanted, whatever people asked. He signed on to stupid film after stupid film because it made $20 million for him. Now that he has made his money, he is going to shit on the industry and talk about doing his own truth, finding himself. Oh, you fucking sad piece of shit. Here's what you could have done in your career. Said no. You had the power to do it. You were a world wrestling entertainment icon. You were at the top of that business. Millions of dollars already in your pocket. You had a lot of fuck you money. You could have easily said no to 99.9% of the shit that you took. You could have said no 100 times over. You could have chosen roles that you were curious about. When you sit there and you go, I looked around a few years ago and I started to think, am I living my dream? You're such a fucking retarded cunt. You could have lived your dream the minute Scorpion King came out. You could have easily chosen better roles. You could have easily chosen better stories, better scripts, better collaborations. You chose not to. You chose to cash the check, go home, and go on to the next thing. And now that people are tired of seeing you and tired of watching your dumb shit, you're going to pivot and then talk about how the industry pigeonholed you. You chose that fucking road, you dipshit. Don't fucking try to gaslight people and convince other people that you somehow were duped. What the fuck? Moving on. Stupid ass motherfucker. Onto a website called Newsworthy Women. Illinois man is sentenced to 60 years for chopping his fucking girlfriend's head off. Okay. I want to know why. Because these are the fascinating stories. This man has been sentenced to 60 years in prison for the brutal killing of his girlfriend, who was pregnant. DeAndre Holloway, 25, what a name, received a 60-year sentence in state prison, pleading guilty to first-degree murder, intentional homicide of an unborn child, concealment of a homicidal death. Prosecutors said he decapitated his 22-year-old girlfriend, Leslie Dodd, in her apartment on Bolivar Street in June of 2022, then placed her head in a dumpster outside. Dodd was nearly 8 months pregnant at the time. The sentencing marks the end of a case that has stretched on for more than 2 years, delayed repeatedly by the legal process. For Dodd's family, however, closure remains elusive. Her mother, Heidi Noel, discovered her daughter's headless body after going to check on her when she hadn't heard from her. Whoa, that's fucking deep. That's crazy. That's craziness right there. Police later found the head outside. At the time, the family had been preparing for a baby shower that was scheduled later that month. She was savagely killed, former Alton Police Chief Marcus Paluto said shortly after the murder. Decapitated by a freaking monster. Her unborn child was killed as a result due to not being left to die in the womb, basically. Holloway, who had been an on and off relationship with Dodd for 2 years, was not the father of the unborn baby. Ooh, fuck me. All right. Wow. So, this dude, wow, I got no words for this. This is crazy talk. So he let me see if I put this together. The family was prepping for a baby shower to a different person's kid that she was going to be the mother of. This dude went banana sandwich, killed her, chopped her head off, threw the head outside, waited for the baby to die in the womb, moved on. Wow, how fucking crazy do you have to be law on your, I got no words. This story is nuts. Wow. So he was quickly arrested after the crime and eventually entered a guilty pleas rather than face trial. State's attorney Tom Haynes said the conviction brings certainty to the case and spares Dodd's family of reliving the murder. Excuse me. Of course it does. It should. They don't need to see that. They don't have, I mean, the mother found her daughter missing her head. Like, clearly found 2 dead bodies if you count the baby. This dude deserves death. I don't know how he got 60. Wow. For the family and loved ones for her family and her loved ones, these types of issues have caused continued angst and uncertainty. Haynes said in a statement, the guilty conviction ends that part. Our hope is that the conviction and sentence provided the family with some assurance and a step towards healing. At last week's sentencing, Dodd's mother said she has been living with a life sentence of her own to live the remainder of her life without her daughter, a life without knowing the joy of watching her raise what would have been her granddaughter. Community members rallied in support of the family wake of the crime. A GoFundMe, $16,000, which helped for the funeral. The family later donated $5,000 to the local women's shelter, $2,000 to the Riverbend Humane Society, trying to pay forward such generosities. He will serve 52 years before release eligibility, meaning that he will be 80 years old before he can be considered. Prosecutors say it is unlikely he will ever get out. For Dodd's family, the sentence provides some accountability. I don't think it does. Honestly, I don't think this dude pled guilty and got a deal of 60 years with eligibility in 52 years. I think this fucker should have been shot, hung, and thrown in the damn dumpster. What the fuck? That dude doesn't deserve any kind of chance of getting out. I don't know how that fucking shit even. Wow, that's crazy. And then, of course, we're going to continue on the murder spree. We're going to go to San Francisco Gate website. NEWSOME, our favorite governor, commutes a sentence of a California man who committed murder for $500. NEWSOME has commuted a sentence of a Northern California man who committed a shocking murder for hire when he was 18 years old. The governor's office announced Friday that Arthur Battle, 37 years old, will soon be eligible for parole after spending his entire life behind bars. The unusual case made headlines in 2006 when a trip to a Hollywood video. Oh my God. Hollywood Video 2006. If you remember Hollywood Video, comment below. Near the Del Paso Country Club in Sacramento turned deadly when a 19-year-old Varden Abramine headed inside to rent a movie. His father waited in the car. Gunshots rang out in the parking lot as multiple shooters fired into the vehicle, killing the father. What seemed like a possible robbery gone wrong quickly unraveled into something closer to home. Investigators learned the getaway car was linked to the son's acquaintances, Isaiah Dupree Brown, 19, Battle, then 18, and Jason Dillingham, 18. Prosecutors learned they agreed to kill this dude's father for a sum of $3,000 for Barron and just $500 for Battle and Dillingham. On the stand, Abramines said his father, an unemployed church pastor at the time of his murder, was physically and emotionally abusive. He said that during one occasion he tried to intervene as his father assaulted his mother. He showed the jury a scar that he said came from his father when he was attacked with a kitchen knife. He also testified that he had paid to have his father killed, convinced that the man would kill someone in his family if he didn't kill him first. I just wanted him gone, his son says. Prosecutors downplayed the motive, claiming the teenager had his father killed for financial gain. Separate juries found Dupree, Abraham, Dillinger, and Battle guilty of first-degree murder, and each man was sentenced to life without parole. In the years since the conviction, the governor's office said Battle earned his GED. Although he had no hope of release, he continued his education and took college courses. He said currently works as an aide serving the incarcerated people with disabilities and is well guarded among correction staff for his genuine commitment to rehabilitation. As such, NEWSOME commuted Battle's sentence of 21 years to life, with 19 already served. This means Battle will soon be eligible for hearings in front of a parole board, and it's possible he could be released. He is currently incarcerated at the California healthcare facility in Stockton. This act of clemency for Mr. Battle does not minimize or forgive the conduct, Newsom wrote. It does recognize the work he has done since to transform himself. The other 3 knuckleheads are still incarcerated. Their sentences remain as life without parole. Okay, Gavin, just because this guy decided to further his life inside prison doesn't mean that it gives him the right to get out of prison for taking $500 and shooting someone's father in a car. I mean, you're saying just because he's made an effort to transform himself, he deserves an opportunity to be outside. No, he does not. My thing is, my values are, if you commit murder, you deserve to stay where you're at. You don't deserve to get out. You don't deserve to enjoy life. And I don't think Gavin Newsom should be rewarding this idiot for getting a GED, for being a nice fella in prison. I think he should stay where he's at. Much like the Illinois man, I don't think he deserves an opportunity to get out after 52 years. I think he deserves the death penalty. He deserves to die. That's just my thing. That's just how I view it. That's just what I believe. And if you don't agree, let me know. And if you do agree, let me know. I don't understand. I don't think this should be a thing. This is from it's called Mediate, another one of them weird websites that just aggregates news. The Chicago mayor is rejecting Trump's crackdown of federal troops after 53 residents were shot over Labor Day weekend in Chicago. Brandon Johnson has continued to reject Trump's potential use of National Guard to crack down on crime in his city, telling a crowd of anti-MAGA protesters on Monday he will not stand for a militarized force being used in his city. His comments come after 53 people were shot in Chicago over the past 2 days, resulting in 7 deaths. No federal troops in the city of Chicago, he says. No militarized force will be in our city. We're going to defend our democracy in the city of Chicago. We're going to protect the humanity of every single person in Chicago, except those 53 people that were shot and the 7 people who died. We didn't really do a good job of protecting them, but we're going to keep saying that we are. The 49-year-old Democrat's comments were made at the Workers Over Billionaires protest in Chicago. The 53 people who were shot in Johnson City over the past 2 days is up 70% compared to last year, according to a local affiliate. MSNBC reports aired the comments above before host Estrel Rashif noted Chicago teachers had already been sending letters to parents acknowledging federal presence could create fear and anxiety in our schools. Yes. Let's have some fun here. Let's hear what he's got to say. Here we go.
No federal troops in the city of Chicago. No militarized force in the city of Chicago. We're going to defend our democracy in the city of Chicago. We're going to protect the humanity of every single person in the city of Chicago.
And there you go, buddy. There you go. You know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. Johnson has made it clear in recent days that he does not want Trump's help in handling crime. On Saturday, he signed an executive order telling Chicago police not to collaborate with federal officials or joint patrols or operations, things of that nature. I think our Democratic idiot is missing an opportunity here. He really is. You cannot defend this after 53 people were just shot over Labor Day weekend, and then you get up on stage and you say this. You can't defend this. Donald Trump has got you over a barrel, and by telling you that your crime rates are up and your city has been failing in this area for quite a while. and your response is, we don't want to work with you, we don't want to have anything to do with you, but you can't defend your position. 53 people were shot just in Labor Day weekend. 7 people died. How do you defend that, guy? Brandon Johnson, how do you defend that? Please, I want to understand this. You're going to be taking this on your head. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this. This militarization, this federal presence in cities. Now, we know that he doesn't have the actual constitutional authority to do this unilateral stuff, but he floats this idea, and if he's able to declare certain emergencies, he might be able to pull this off through a loophole or two. But I'm very curious what your guys' thoughts are on this, because these mayors are not getting the job done. 53 people were shot over Labor Day weekend. 7 people died. How do you defend your crime rate when that just happened? Like, how do you defend this? Like, and you're over here, no, we don't want you. It's like, how do you do that? How do you, what is your, that's not a defense. That's you just jumping up and down like a fucking toddler. Like, you're gonna have issues here. You might as well welcome this. Try to make this a win for yourself, because re-election is coming. Brandon Johnson, this might be helpful to you. I don't know, man. Like I said, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. Appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and by all means, the 5-star review does help move up the charts. Again, another great week in the books. Thank you guys for making me a top 200 podcast in a few countries. Appreciate each and every one of you. Keep on listening, keep on subscribing, keep on 5-starring, and I will see you guys on Monday. Have a good day and a good week.